Sun Bear versus Sloth Bear. One of the most vicious, powerful, dominating land predators the modern Earth knows, the bear. It's one of the last animals you want to come across if you're lost and alone in the woods. But there are so many kinds of bears. Grizzly bears, Kodiak bears, polar bears. But what if we take some of the lesser-known bears? What if we take the sun bear and the sloth bear? Both are scary. And now, let's face them off against one another. You're safe, thankfully. They're preoccupied with each other. But in a battle between a sun bear and a sloth bear, who would win? Bears. First, let's take a glimpse at bears in general, because there are plenty of popular bears and also plenty of overlooked bears. The family is called Ursidae, but you know them simply as bears. We used to recognize 7 species of bears, but after 1985 and much research was done, one animal was brought back into the family, the giant panda, thus making it 8 species of bears that exist in the world today. Among those 8 species of bears, there are dozens of subspecies. The 8 species of bears are polar bears, brown bears, American black bears, Asian black bears, the newly added giant panda bears, spectacled bears, sun bears, and sloth bears. The 3 largest bear species, and probably the most popular, are the 3 that are found in North America. Those would be polar bears, American black bears, and brown bears, which can be found in Europe and Asia as well. The spectacled bear is the only bear found in South America. Then we have the Asian black bear, the giant panda, the sun bear, and the sloth bear, which are all found in various parts of Asia. So our 2 bears that will be fighting one another could potentially meet somewhere in Asia. It's in the realm of possibility, and these are the 2 bears that you might hear the least about. They're not the famed large bears of North America. They're not that adorable menace known as the giant panda. They're not the largest bear in Asia, the Asian black bear, nor are they the only bear in South America. They are the often overlooked. They are probably upset about being overlooked because they are still bears. They still command respect. They are the sun bear and the sloth bear. So let's see just how mad they are. Sun bear. We're going to meet the sun bear first. In order to do that, we need to go visit the homeland of the sun bear. As we mentioned, they're found in Asia. But where in Asia specifically? Sun bears can be found all over Southeast Asia. They're presently in Myanmar, Cambodia, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, and several other countries. The sun bear is quite easy to recognize as it has a unique look to it. They're generally a darker color, often black-haired, but with a discernible orange to cream-colored patch on their chest, which is in a crescent shape. It's quite interesting that they will have this very specific shape of a different color, but that is where they get their name. It looks as if the sun is shining on them, or has already given them a tan in that one spot. One of the reasons the full area of the sun bear isn't fully known is because they largely live in tropical forests of Southeast Asia. What with the tropical forest being so vast and thick, it's hard to know just how far the sun bears spread across the nation. Of all the 8 bear species, the sun bear is the smallest of them all. They stand a little under 2.5 feet tall at the shoulder. On average, they're 4 feet long, which is just about as long as the giant panda. However, the giant panda weighs 3 times as much. The average weight of a sun bear is 99 pounds. Some do crack 100 pounds and exceed that by a bit. Plenty have been weighed in at 140 pounds. But they're the only bear species that, on average, doesn't even hit triple digits for their weight in pounds. Now, you might think it's the smallest bear species, and so it isn't dangerous. Not so fast. The sun bear is still powerful, quite stockily built. They have large paws and strong curved claws, which are great for digging into trees and climbing. In fact, sun bears are the best at climbing among all bears. They usually sleep in trees at least 20 feet above the ground. And even though it's the smallest of 8 species of bears, the sun bear has some surprises. The bite strength of the sun bear is measured at 883.2 newtons, which is good enough for the 4th strongest bite of all bear species, behind only the polar bear, brown bear, and giant panda. The sun bear may be the smallest bear, but it has the longest tongue of all bears. It uses its strong bite and long tongue to bite through tree bark and scoop out tasty insects. The sun bear may be most interested in eating insects, and they may be quite shy and have few interactions with humans, but don't count them as softies just yet. They have those powerful jaws. They're powerful in general. They have those 4-inch long claws that are good for climbing trees and could be good for defensive purposes if need be. And when a sun bear gets going, they get going fast. Sun bears can hit speeds of up to 30 miles per hour. However, they do need ideal terrain for their long claws to be able to sink into. Otherwise, hitting a top speed may be difficult. The sun bear is small and surprising. Will his competitor have any tricks up his sleeves? Sloth bear. We'll stay in Asia, but we'll just do a slight bit of traveling, finding ourselves in South Asia. Sloth bears can be found primarily in India, but they also live in places like Bangladesh and Myanmar. Myanmar, that might be the one place where these two bears possibly overlap. Sloth bears are primarily found in forests and near low hills, avoiding mountainous regions. The sloth bear is lankier than most other bears. Many have speculated how they share features of many insectivorous mammals, and it is thought that they reached their current shape and form during the Pleistocene epoch. If we're looking at total length, their average length of 5.5 feet has them as the 5th largest bear species, the 2nd largest in Asia, behind only the Asian black bear. They're longer than a giant panda. However, their lanky body has them outweighed by the giant panda. Sloth bears clock in at 250 pounds on average. And though a bite force of 522 newtons would not be a pleasant thing to feel on your hand, it is the weakest bite of all bear species. But the sloth bear is less concerned about using its mouth when attacking. It uses its deadly claws, long, curved, white-colored claws that they wield in a time of attack and do plenty of damage. Sloth bears are one of the most aggressive bears in the world, and more attacks on humans have been recorded by sloth bears than any other bear. If a human gets too close, they'll stand up and charge, asserting their dominance. But it isn't all for show. They often attack and cause massive injuries. In addition to attacking humans, they often attack tigers too. Tigers are their one predator, but sloth bears do not act the part of prey. They fight back. Additionally, rhinos and elephants in India fear the sloth bear. Maybe it's the crazy shaggy hair, or maybe it's that this is a fearless bear with a mean streak of aggression racing through them. Speaking of racing, these agile bears can run up to 20 miles per hour. They're not the best climbers as their claws are too long, but perhaps that is why they are so quick to fight. They don't have the option of climbing up a tree and hiding, so every time they perceive a threat, they fight. Maybe the sloth bear isn't the biggest, but they make up for it with ferocity. And if it's any consolation, they do have the longest tail of any bear species. Longest tail, most attacks on humans, this sloth bear is ready. And with that, it might just be time for the fight. The bear duel. We've reached the point of the bear duel. Now, sun bears and sloth bears both live in Asia, but they span pretty different areas of the continent. However, they do have some points in which they may overlap. One area that seems probable for this to happen is Myanmar, more specifically northwestern Myanmar. So, let's set the battle there. Our bears are getting ready to meet, and right away, we notice the size difference. The sloth bear is so much bigger. Even though he is lankier than the stockily built sun bear, he 5.5 feet long compared to the sun bear at 4 feet, and he is likely 250 pounds as opposed to being just shy of 100. So he's 1.5 feet longer, and he's 150 pounds heavier. Now, 150 pounds heavier may not be a huge deal if we are talking about larger bears that are nearly 1,000 pounds, but in this case, the sloth bear weighs 2.5 times as much as the sun bear. He has a massive advantage right away, and we know the sloth bear to be more aggressive and that the sun bear is generally more shy. So when these two see one another, it's more than likely the sloth bear is going to initiate the attack. He's going to charge once he sees the sun bear. But advantage now goes to the sun bear. If he sees this charging sloth bear, he can outrun him as he is much faster. He can run a whole 10 miles per hour faster, and if he wants to get away, he can climb a tree far more easily. This helps him in getting away and not being attacked, and perhaps he may devise his own attack strategy once he has gotten to safety. Don't forget, the sun bear has the 4th most powerful bite among all bears, and the sloth bear has the weakest bite of all the bears. So if the sun bear can evade the sloth bear, plan an attack and execute it, delivering a big bite, he would have a sizable advantage. But the sun bear would really need to use his speed, his skills in climbing the trees and evasion, and then latch on with devastating bites immediately. The sun bear wants this battle to be over with quickly, because the longer it goes on, the more the tables turn in favor of the sloth bear. He is bigger and stronger and can overpower the attacking sun bear. We know they have that streak of aggression that comes out, and they unleash their fury on their victims. They attack plenty of humans, they scare rhinos and elephants, hey, they even attack tigers. This sun bear is no problem for the sloth bear, and he has those sharp, lethal claws. It looks like the sloth bear has a sizable advantage in this battle. He'd probably win somewhere between 70 to 80% of the time. Almost everything swings in his favor, but the sun bear has those powerful jaws to break through tree bark. If he could just get himself into position to break through some sloth bear, well, he could be the victor in this bear battle. For that reason, we won't call it a definitive victory either way. Advantage goes to the sloth bear, but the sun bear is a sneaky underdog pick that could certainly pay off.